Hey guys, this is going to be just a quick video to show you how to do a life safety plan. Um, this is a church job that I'm doing. I've got a lot of it already set up. Every construction, whether it's residential, commercial, they all have a specific occupancy type based on the codes, the IBC. You have to double check with that city which ones they're using. This city, Crowley, has updated all of theirs to the 2021, with the exception of the National Electrical Code, which is the 2020 version. Um, and it's always just a good idea to use the most current one. It saves down the line if they ever change or modify anything. But um, this is just a basic table that I made. Granted, this is an existing building, it's not new construction, it's existing. But this is an existing 5B, which is basically stick and brick wood construction. There's not a lot of metal in it. The occupancy type for a church is A3, which is what this is. I'm currently leaving this fire sprinkler system no. I'm hoping that they don't have to do that because those going to be pretty expensive. The thing that you have to break down is the spaces that they have. So when you look at the code, let me pull it up. In the 2021 International Building Code, in Chapter 10, Means of Egress, they have a floor that gives you allowances per occupant. This goes for every type of building construction that you can find. So for the church, it's an assembly. They aren't using pews, which would be assembly with fixed seats, which is a separate section. They have a little bit more rigid dimensions. You would actually need the layout and how many pews they're using. Assembly without fixed seats, concentrated chairs only, not fixed, is basically 7 net square feet per area. So if I take this one, which is what their sanctuary is going to be, and I go back to my drawing, this is their whole sanctuary. It is a total of 1,842 square feet. With divided by 7, that gives me a total occupant load of 264 people allowable in the space. The stage, there's a requirement for that, which is 15 net square feet. So this is the stage. Again, I kind of color code everything so it's obvious to see. I had to create a special CTV file so that when I go to plot everything, they will all show up in their color. Just kind of show you an example real quick. So, and then these are my egress paths of travel. Again, you can easily see the square footage and the occupant load for, I need to update these. So I hadn't done all of them because I wanted to show you that. So even though this is blue and it's not a sanctuary, it's a nursery, doing a little digging and research into the what is often used. This is a nursery, small area, so it's very rarely used. They said typically you'd use like a 15 square feet per net, and so I'm using, since this technically is 7, might have to adjust that actually because I changed some colors on some stuff. So, but this is a small kitchen, but it's a kitchenette. There's no like oven, there's no cooking. It's just ice machine, sink where they're going to prep different stuff. So it said to use it as office space, which is what all of this is. And so I haven't updated all of these because obviously they all say the same thing. There is a difference between net square footage and gross square footage. Show you an example. For instance, accessory storage areas, mechanical equipment room is 300 gross, which means that you can use the overall. Typically, if you find something like these are 7 net, that is where you want to have individually, and it's kind of weird because it works out to be the same thing. But each room is specific, and the reason that's important is because, like, for instance, this room is 461 square feet, has an occupant load of 31. If the occupant load, send this to the back real quick. The door's not showing for some reason. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. This is actually a gathering area that is like got tables and chairs. And this is all open, so it kind of threw me for a minute. But let me go over here. So this is one I got to be careful on, because if the occupant load for any given room is 49 or 50 and greater, then it's required 2 exits out of the room. So a lot of these are close, like this one, for instance, could be an issue because it is actually not that. Let me see. Use AA for my quick area command. I hit enter, then I hit O, and then enter again for object, because I want to select the polyline that I've done. Again, it's 1182. So this square footage is 15 square feet net person. So if I take 1182, and I'm going to use my calculator, 1182. I did find the website, divided by 15. That's 78.8, which is 79 occupant load. Okay. So since this room is 50 or larger, it would need more than one exit, which I actually am already covered because I have a door here, a door here, and then an exit out of the building here. So I'm already covered there. I haven't done some of these others. Again, I did find a cool website. It's called IBC. It's iDig Hardware. It's an occupant load estimator. So I can go in here and it literally has all of the things that are in the IBC. Like I mentioned, stage earlier is 15 net square foot per person. This has all of these assembly areas in there. And so I can use that. For instance, business area, it's not concentrated. Concentrated is if like you were using like a call center where people are stacked, like, every couple of feet at a desk with a phone. So they have a little bit higher number that it calculates. So anyway, business area is 150 gross per square feet. And so let's see if I can shrink this up a little bit. I'm going to do it kind of a double string with AutoCAD, and hold on a sec. Okay, let's do this. So it's business square footage, and so again, I have to do each room. So I do the AA for my area command, space for enter, O for object, and then I select it, and then down here it lets me know that it was 91.18 square feet. So if it's 0.5 and above, I round it up. If it's lower than that, I round it down. Even the code technically says if it's even over anything over 90 or the decimal, if it's over like 0.1 or greater, go ahead and round it up. So technically they could say 92. I'm just going to leave it as 91 square feet. So occupant load for this one is it's 91, and it's 150 gross square feet per person. So the estimated occupant load would just be 1. So that kind of tells me that with each one of these, it's going to be 1, as long as it's not over 150 square feet. Now this room is much larger. It's 537 square feet. So if I come down here and do 537, vacuum and occupancy load for this one is 4. So I'm going to change my occupant load for this room to 4. And then so each of these is just going to be 1. So let me go ahead and change these 1. That was literally right on the square footage. This one's slightly over, so I'm going to go ahead and make this one 2, because it'll be like 1.2 something. This one's under that, so occupant load will be 1. Okay, 118, this occupant load will be 1. Right click enter. Remember, with AutoCAD, you can hit the space bar and it will redo the last command that you did. So I'm good for all of these. So technically that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 would be the occupant load. There's 1 here, but if I go to business and I add up all the square footage here, if I did gross per person, see, it's only 8, whereas if I do it individually, it adds up a little bit more. So that's where you can kind of get some cross. It can be kind of confusing sometimes. So again, business areas are considered 150 gross. So since it's gross, I can just use the overall square footage. But if I'm going to come in and put these on here, then I need to make sure that they match. So technically, the way that I could do that so that they all add up to show the same is gross. If this is 91 square feet, I can put in then the actual occupant load, which would be less than 1. So I would take my 91 divided by 150, which is 0.606. So I could just come in here and do 0.606. And then I do that for each of these. 118 divided by 150, 0.786, 0.786, and I'll show you how this works out on the gross. This way they can see the actual. So this one's 116 divided by 150, 0.773, 773. Zoom out. And we're going to go to 161 divided by 150. This one's 1.07. 1.07. I'm going to go ahead and go to the third place on that since I did all the other ones to 3 points. So this one is legitimately 1. This one is 537 divided by 150. That's actually 3.58. 3.58. Enter. Let's see, make sure I've done all these down. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. It's 103. Oops. That on the wrong thing. 103 divided by 150 is 0.686. 0.686. All right, so now if I take this, all of these decimals and add them up, here, let me see. I'll do that on here so we can see it. Calculator. All right, that's the nice thing about calculator, it stays on top. So I'm going to go ahead and maximize this on the screen. Pull up the calculator. Oh, it's because it was in front of the other one. Never mind. All right, so I've got 0.606 plus 0.786 plus 0.773 plus 1.073 plus 3.58 plus 1 plus, I'm going to scroll out, 0.686 plus 0.686 equals 8.504, which is 9. So let's see how close I got. So I had 8. If I round those up, it would be 9. So again, earlier, like I said, it was just over, and so I kept it at 8 instead of 9. So technically, I should just go ahead and round it up to 9, which affects my overall occupant load for the building. So anyway, this is kind of what you have to do. So you have to go by each space. Assembly without fixed seats, concentrated chairs only. Again, that was the sanctuary. All of the classrooms that they're going to be using for Sunday school, meeting areas, whatever they are all categorized as assembly, no fixed seats with tables and chairs, unconcentrated. So that means that they can put them pretty much anywhere. And it actually helps with the occupant load. So if I go back to my occupant load thing here, so it helps because unconcentrated is 15, whereas concentrated chairs only, not fixed, is 7. So it actually helps lower that number down. This should have been 7. Change that. I think I did that already. I'm going to double check. 1842 divided by 7. Yeah, it's 263. So 0.142. So I rounded up to 264. So anyway, once I have done that for all of my areas, and all I did was I created polylines all the way around each room on the inside face of the wall. And so the one thing that does not count on the count is accessory use areas like restrooms and hallways. You still have to list the square footage, but it's excluded, so that number is 0. So that's literally stairs, hallways. I made this a hallway, even though technically this is all one big room. These are bathrooms back here. It's hard to see because everything's super light. Bathroom, corridor. I did not count this because you don't count these twice. 2 little small bathrooms here, corridor here, corridor here. Even though this is an exit area, I still just included the entire space in the core as the meeting room at the 15 square foot. The other area that is anything that is storage or mechanical rooms, those are shown as green. And those are like 300 square feet, a square foot per person. So total, this room, this room, this room, this room, and this room, all storage or mechanical, only added up to 224 feet, which is less than 1, so you just put 1. And again, this one is also gross square footage. Table, had to stretch it out multiple times. There we go. All right, and so now, basically, I add all of these up. I'm pretty sure let's do this. So 312 plus 264 plus 24 plus 9 plus 1 equals 610. So, because I rounded that 1 up. So basically, this is the max occupant load that the church can have inside of it based on the building size. Interior square footage is just below 10,000 square feet. Exterior walls, including all the walls, is 10,790. So, okay, so that's kind of the lowdown on most of this. There are some other things. Now that I have these, so I need to go ahead and finish some of these because again, I didn't do all of them. The reason I put 0 is because these don't count. They're the accessory areas, bathrooms or corridors. Let's see. Let's do AA. And actually, there's another shortcut. You can do AA for area, hit space for enter, and then hit space again. and it's the same thing as selecting O and then enter. It's actually a tad bit quicker. So then I come down here and it's 69.2. So again, I had just rounded it to 69. This is business square feet, so it'll actually be less than, and I thought I just figured this, or no, sorry, not business. This is the 15 square feet. So if I take 69 divided by 15, it's 4.6. So the occupant load for this one would be 5. This one was 264, so that's 269 total. Oh, I forgot to add that. Oops. 269, let's see. 269 because I didn't add that space. I think this literally only lists the 1842. Yes, it does. This was how much? 69. Earlier when I added all these up, it didn't add up. It should add up to this number right here, and it did not. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So what did I say? I already forgot. 5 square feet. Okay. So let's add 5 square feet to this. So that'll be 7, 1847. Okay. So this is now 615. And the main reason this is important is even though it's an existing building, Crowley wants to make sure that they are not going to be going over this, like they're increasing the actual, and they're not even close to this. They're like 100 people, maybe, barely. So they have plenty of room to grow, which will make, of course, the city happy. These are actually colors that I created in another drawing for a custom layout. Just there's section 1, 2 through 12. They're all specific colors, and then I went in and changed the CTB file, which is the plot or the PCB. I can't remember. I think it's the CTB, but let me double check. Yeah, it's basically the plot configuration. I think that's configuration table file. Anyway, long story short, if you click on the little printer icon over here, it literally gives you all the colors. Now what I've done, typically, most of the time, you want everything to just be black. But you can come in, and on some of these, I have selected like this color 43 to use object color. And so that's why it'll actually show up when I go to plot. This was a bill that I set up specifically for this one. Let's see. But just to show you. There we go. So anyway, I didn't need all these colors, and eventually I'll take, trying to save it as a PDF. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think of other square footage that I did not add. I have all of it. Let's see. All right, so now I'm going to try to add all this up and see if it comes up closer to what I had for 8 plus 1847 plus 351 plus 1173 is 224 plus 1506 equals 97,969. 97,969. Okay, so I've got 993. Trying to figure out, unless I added that twice, which I don't think I did though. It's only 57.9. Let's say, oh, I think on the business I didn't include this earlier. Anyway, I'll figure that out. I want to make the video 10 times longer than it needs to be. So the next thing is the egress path. Typically I use a polyline. I have a layer set up. So if you click on the layer and then click this little tab, it makes the current object that you have selected. It makes the A-Life safety line layer current. Make it current. Because I have not previously set this line for the polyline in here. So if I do PL for polyline, once I start it, you'll see some options down here: half width, arc, length, undo width. I'm going to go to width and do 1.5 inches. And so you'll see that the polyline is now as thick as this. So what I do typically, I'm going to show you this one, is you have to take, even though there's an exit right here, let's say there's a fire at this, or this door has been blockaded. They want to know the maximum travel distance to the next closest exit. And so I took this line. You can't go diagonally because they're going to assume there's chairs and tables. So you pick a corner, you go in, straight, over, straight, and just basic diagonally track deals. So the way though that I calculate these lengths, it's dawned on me, rather than making like 5 million lines that go like right next to each other in different areas, basically I just took this line and stopped it here, because this is now the same path of travel. This is a solid polyline, so if I type in LI for list, we'll see that it shows here that it's 73 feet and 5/16. So what I can do is I can come down here and just do 73 feet. I'm just going to do even 0 inches. All right, so it's 73. I put these little arrows on here, little triangles, just to indicate the path of travel. But because I stopped this one here, I don't have the full length. What I can do, and it's just kind of a temporary thing, just so I can get the length, I'm going to retrace this line, come over to here, and just move it. Oops, not sure what happened there. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. So I'm going to do polyline again. Again, my width is already set to the right length, so use the mouse button to switch over to ortho mode, and my endpoints are on. Let's try this again. I'm not sure what happened. I'm going to click on it. There we go. So again, it's stopping here, so I hate this about AutoCAD. So I have to turn my O snaps off again. Again, I use my pre-programmed button on my mouse. Move, because it was grabbing it, and it's like literally throwing it. Oh, there they are, way over here. Yeah, see, that's so weird how AutoCAD will just do that, but it does it randomly. So anyway, I can do LI for list, select the polyline. This one is 94 foot 10.5, so I'm going to round it up to 94.11. 94.11. All right. And so that is this full length here coming out here. And so each time, for instance, I pick the back side of this room. I could also continue this line here over and out this direction. That would give me that length. Let's see. I could take this back bathroom and come out of it because it's having to take multiple steps. Now this one I could come all the way out here. I think it's a little bit longer distance. So I'm going to come this way. Well, technically this way and this way because of the stall. Come out. And I can do list. $640. List. Let's try that again. No. 86 feet, 1 inch, basically. So I can come in here and copy this. Since I can't remember, I can hit F2, which scrolls back, and I can then scroll through much easier. This was 86 foot 1. 86 foot 1. Alright, so that's the distance there. I can try, notice how this looks like it's a solid line now. A lot of times you just hit regen and it'll show back up dashed again. Not sure why it does that. So anyway, I need to come in here and because if you, after a while you got so many of these lines, it can get pretty confusing. There we go. Okay, so again, I'll add the arrows on the rest of this so that we know which direction the path of travel is. I've already done quite a few lines up here. This one is already there. Let's see. So I copy this one. So list. This one's a decent length. So it's 119.8 3/4. So I'm just gonna say 119.9. Pretty decent length, but I scooted. Well, I wanted to scoot this one over. Let me stretch this over. Deselect the. So I'm going to stretch this in. I accidentally picked up my polyline. Should step back over. So what I can do here is, because the other option is also down the stairs, come up, out, through the door, This one's a little trickier because this one may be easier to stop it here. So if I copy this, and put it right here. Okay, so this is, I know where it ends at the top, so now I can come down the stairs, past the wall, into the corridor. Out the building. I'm gonna pull this over here. Okay, so it looks a little convoluted, but basically, yeah, there we go. This is the upstairs portion into the stairwell, and it goes down the stairwell and out the door. So I just use my fillet command and fillet that. It's now listed as one length, so I can do my list command, select it, and it is 99, it's 100 feet. So that's good. So let's copy this one over here. This will be 100 feet. Let's copy. Remember your crossing dialog, if it's not dashed line, you're only selecting what falls within that. Remember, if you do the other one, it grabs everything, so which we don't want to do. So now what I can do is, now that I know the actual length, I can just do this, and then we'll know that it comes down the stairs. But I need to take the second floor off. Technically. Turn the O-snaps off because it seems to be grabbing it. Oh my gosh, it's still doing it. I'm gonna turn it. No, now they're off. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So this is coming from the stairs. May actually see something. I'm going to select just one hatch and just select similar. So it'll select all only this one color, so because it's associating similar with hatch and color. So I'm going to select the other, at least one of the others. And just select similar. Yes, okay. If I do basic modifier tools, scroll down to display order, send it back. I want to see. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see. What I'm curious about is on the. So yeah, at least, yeah, okay. This stuff is showing up better than what I could see in here. So when I printed off as a PDF, that was my concern, was that you wouldn't see the stairs, knowing that it was coming from upstairs down. So, okay. So anyway, this is basically how you set up a life safety plan. And I'm going to sign out real quick. Stop the recording.